Right, so I was stuck on this little game that I was playing with myself for a lot of months. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I probably spent half a year trying to deal with this shit. And I had a guy that I spoke to about this, but that helped, but it didn't help entirely. I had to do a bit of work by myself, and it was by discovering my own psychology. Right, negative thoughts. Okay, how do you actually get rid of negative thoughts? How do you stop them? Because that's what you want to do, right? And a lot of times we don't stop them, we try to suppress them. When a negative thought comes, we're like, no, no, that's not true. Ah! You try and like hide it away and you stuff it away in a little box and you try and think about something else or distract yourself. And hey presto, the next day that thought's just going to be there. It's going to be persistent. And I remember seeing a study actually where they had participants try not to think about a white elephant. I know the usual one's a pink elephant, but in this case it was the white elephant. And they had participants try not to think about the white elephant. And what happened? All right. So people tried to suppress the white elephant, and they were like, "Oh, I don't see it. I suppressed it for 10 seconds," and suppressed it for 5 minutes or something, and they were trying to think about something else. But what happened? What were the long-term effects of trying to suppress the white elephant? Some people reported constantly not being able to stop thinking about the white elephant. Some people reported thinking about the white elephant for hours after the event, and some people even said days after the event. Why? Because the mind will always focus on what you don't want to focus on. If you tell it that you don't want it to focus on something, it will focus on it. It just has to. Your mind is like that. It needs to scratch the itch and it will scratch it. And it doesn't matter what you do to try to stop it, you will not stop your mind's curiosity killing the cat syndrome. You just won't. So, how do you actually stop the negative thoughts? Well, firstly, you've got to realize that number one, your mind has a negativity bias. Your mind loves negativity. Think about your survival, think about our ancestors, think about what actually kept your ancestors alive. Positive emotions did not keep them alive, it kind of reinforced the survival mechanism. But what really kept your ancestors alive was negativity. Yeah, negative emotions, anger, killing the threat. Okay, fear, seeing that snake or that jaguar approaching, and not the car, but the animal. Uh, Negativity, cortisol, stress kept us alive. So our stress responses as human beings are very, very, you know, they're very rapid. They come very quickly. So your mind has a tendency to be more negative than it will be positive, and it will tend to oversee, no, not oversee. It will tend to exaggerate and focus on and put a magnifying glass to the negativity and make it seem like it's the worst thing since shitty bread. Since white bread, no, in this case, it's shitty bread. So we'll tend to over exaggerate and over focus on the negativity. So you realize that. Number two, your negative thoughts are most likely a distortion of reality. Okay, they're a distortion of reality. They're a distorted perception of reality. That's not to say that they're not entirely true, but they're not entirely false. So it's like they're not entirely false, they're not entirely true. They are a misperception of reality. So I know that to the negative OCD mind, what I've just said is going to drive you insane. Well, it might be true, no, just that's literally an example of what I'm on about. Your mind, when it becomes addicted to negativity, is it addicted to misperception of reality. Okay, so you got to realize that your mind is not seeing the truth as it really is. It's kind of making up its own little illusions. Number three, negative thoughts are just like graffiti. Your mind is not who you are. This is a big thing, actually. This is one of the things that really got me on my journey of self development, which was realizing I'm not the thoughts in my head. I'm not the thoughts. I'm not the voice in my head. There is a conscious voice, which you can consciously develop and work on. But the unconscious, kind of impulsive, lizard brain thoughts, that's not who you are. These are just emotional states. Okay, emotional states which are just there. And they don't mean anything other than just emotional states. You're not that lizard brain that's popping up these thoughts with. They're literally just energetic impulses. That's literally what they are. They're energy, electric impulses in your mind, in your brain. So realize that you're not your thoughts, you're not your mind. Now, how do you change this? Well, first, you become aware. You become aware of the negativity in your mind, that you are not this negativity, you're not this thought process in your head, this conditioning, this automatic thought that's going along. It's not who you are. Okay, and number two, do not suppress. I know the tendency to want to suppress is there, but don't try to suppress it now. I've given you the information that says you don't need to suppress it, all right? Which is you're not the thoughts. It's most likely a misperception of reality. Your mind is addicted to the negativity, addicted to cortisol. It loves that cortisol jump from the negative thoughts. So I don't try and suppress it, because then you end up in the position where you will not be able to stop thinking about negativity. Realize the negative thought, see it, And then when you're ready, when you've done the above 3 practices, begin to change them. Begin to change the negativity and replace them with a positive thought. And make this a workout now. If you're really struggling with negative thoughts, make this a workout and you will thank me when you're done. You will thank now. Every time a negative thought pops into your mind, you will say, yes, another chance, another opportunity to get another rep in. Every time a negative thought now comes into your mind, you now have the power to literally do progressive overload with your own thoughts, which is become aware, negative thought, or just thought, and then apply the positive thought. Change it consciously. Okay, whatever thought you want it to. So if a thought comes into your head and says, I'll never be successful, you consciously say, I will be successful. You consciously say, and then the negative thought will argue that you don't care. You just mindfully bring your attention back to the present moment and you say, I will be successful. You're consciously programming yourself now to be positive. You're consciously programming yourself for success. And eventually, this will eventually happen. These positive thoughts will become automatic and your negative thoughts will be a very distant memory of the past. Your positive thoughts will be your predominant reality and you will be operating from the basis of these positive thoughts, not the previous, redundant, useless negative thoughts, which had no usage, utility, or value in your life. Okay? So remember, negative thoughts are a misperception of reality, an exaggeration of the negativity, and your mind loves it. Also, you're not your negative thoughts. You're not your thought process. You are the awareness behind the thought process. You are the transformer, not from the film, but you are the conscious transformer of your life. You're not the automatic kind of functioning of what's going on in your body, your mind. You are the, if you would like to call it, the soul, the transformer of this mechanical process that's going on. So take advantage of that, but become aware of it first, because at first you're lost in the thoughts and the emotions. So become aware, and then when you're ready, okay, once you've done the above and you've become quite ingrained in that attitude that, okay, I'm not these thoughts, the mind tends to exaggerate things. So when a negative thought comes, it's literally just a symptom of all of those above problems. Okay, now what kind of action can I take? Change it. Change it into a positive thought. The mind will want to argue, and it will argue with your new positive thought, and it will say, no, you're not like this, you're not like that, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Use that as fuel as well. Use that as fuel. Understand that your mind loves to chat and gossip and make drama in your life. So just realize that this is the mind's natural way of being. It's the monkey mind. Bring your attention back to the present moment and focus on the new positive implementation of thought. Okay, your thought is supposed to help you, not work against you. Yeah, it works in your favor. It's there to help you take action, to be productive in your life, and to manifest greatness. It's not there to manifest destruction, pain, and despair. Okay, that's the symptoms of a mind that is sick, an unhealthy mind. Okay, if your body was producing pus, if it was producing some ugly colored shit, if you were fat, if you were obese, and your body was literally decaying with diabetes and high blood pressure and cholesterol, these are symptoms of a sick body. Okay, you go to the doctor, you take exercise, you start drinking water, you eat properly. Okay, you go to good sleep patterns, English. You fix yourself up basically, and we take that very seriously. So it's time to start taking your mental health seriously as well. All right. Hope these tips help. Hope these tips help the gentlemen. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.